What's going on, people? It's just finished. Borussia Dortmund 1, Chelsea nil in the Champions League first leg. And I've got absolutely no idea how we have lost that game. We actually played pretty well tonight. I thought the setup of the team was decent. We actually created opportunities, but same old. We cannot put the ball in the net. And at the top level or at any level, when you don't put the ball in the back of the net or you're incapable of doing so, then you are always going to have problems winning football matches. And that was exactly the case tonight. João Felix, I love you, and you're a top player. You cannot miss chances like that in this sort of game. You just cannot do that. Two gilt edge opportunities. Both of those should be in the back of the net. At least one of them. I don't know what's going on at Cobham. Are we taking shots at goals that are twice the size of normal goals? Like we always see, clips of finishing from training. What size are those goals? Because they clearly aren't the same size as the goals in the match because we just can't put the ball in the net. It's so frustrating because tonight was all right, and all right at Chelsea is not acceptable, but there was more than enough to win this game, more than enough. And it's typical, we've seen it so many times, year after year at Chelsea, that we dominate games. It was the same under Thomas Tuchel. We don't take our chances. The other team gets an opportunity, goes at the other end, and puts the ball in the net, and we lose. And again, it's going to give people more ammunition for their Potter out stuff. And I understand it's 2 wins in 14, not acceptable, totally unacceptable. But in the context of tonight, it's not the manager's fault. He coached a good game. The team selection was good. The setup of the team was right. I thought the tactics were pretty good as well. And yet, because we can't put the ball in the net, we've lost. And it's not Potter's fault that the ball didn't go in the net. I mean, what do you want him to do? Come on the pitch and score himself? It's just one of those nights, and it's one of the most frustrating nights in years. One of the worst nights in front of God I think we've had in a long time. I thought it's so frustrating. I really don't know what to say. I think we are cursed in front of goal. And it's all very well saying, oh, you know what, I feel confident for the second leg, because I do feel confident for the second leg given how we've played there. But ultimately, it doesn't matter how many chances we create because we can't put the ball in the net. And I'm not confident of us scoring goals. I'm really not. We don't score more than one goal in a game very often. And it's a big problem. And despite all the money that's been spent, we need to find someone that can put the ball in the fucking goal, because right now, we're not going to win any football matches with the lack of goals that we've got in the team. I mean, in terms of tonight, the goal's such a bad goal to give away as well. I see people criticising the defensive setup. Dortmund left no one up. Adeyemi was inside his own half. We left Enzo Fernandez back. That would have been Jorginho normally, and that would have been even worse given kind of what unfolded. Adeyemi's got ridiculous pace. He showed that pace. I thought, look, I'm not expecting Enzo Fernandez to keep up in a foot race with him, but I do feel that he perhaps could have put up maybe a little bit more of a fight. I'm not blaming him in any way. And then obviously Adeyemi does well to finish the goal, but it's such a poor goal to give away, to be hit on the break like that, hit on the transition from your own set piece. That's really poor, and you cannot allow that to happen at the top level, to almost score down one end and then concede at the other end in the next phase of play. That's not good enough. But I felt tonight that there were some good performances. Thiago Silva, again, exceptional at the back. Not much more needs to be said about him. I thought it was a really big night for Koulibaly as well. In for his first game in a month. That's his first game since Fulham away at Craven Cottage. I actually thought he did pretty well tonight. His experience and quality as a player did shine through. He's obviously not going to be in the team for Southampton at the weekend because Badia Shield will come back in. But it was a really big performance from him, and a kind of a reminder to the manager, a reminder to the fans, kind of the levels that he's got, and and what he can do and what he can offer to this team. I felt defensively were pretty good, and he was bang unlucky not to score as well. You just know it's not your night when the ball inches away from going in, and then Emre Can gets back and clears it off the line. It was at that point I knew we weren't scoring. You just know when it's going to be a night like that, and it wasn't our night in front of goal. But there were positives. Ben Chilwell, again, more minutes in the tank, looked pretty good going forward. Reece James, I felt, was exceptional again. Hakim Ziyech, I felt, had a reasonably good game, but again, some poor decision making, some poor finishing in the final third. Kai Havertz, again, all right, did one good thing where he set Felix up. Oh, come on, you're playing as a 9. You're like constantly running away from the goal. Stop running away from the goal. And then, when he gets the ball in a good position, he takes so long to make a decision. And then when he does make a decision, he makes the wrong one every single time. we're not going to score any goals with him at the top end of the pitch. We just simply aren't. I think it's confusing. It's difficult for his teammates to know what he's going to do because, Kai likes to run out wide and sort of run for the ball and stuff. And then his teammates don't really know where to be or where to be to receive the ball from him. So, Havertz, just stay in the middle of the pitch. Just do something. All I ask for is one good game from you, honestly. It's so frustrating. Everyone knows my thoughts on Havertz, but we need to cut our losses. It's time to move on. We need to bring in someone that's clinical, can actually put the ball in the net in the summer. It's as simple as that. Another really disappointing night for Kai Havertz. And João Félix again tonight. I've touched on it earlier. Superb. It really was superb. Tailed off a little bit in the second half like everyone did, but he's just got so much class. He's got so much quality. But again, throughout his career, finishing has not been his strong point. It's not taken him long to pick up the Chelsea finishing bug, has it? He's got to do better. Slightly leaning back on that first one, and then the second one, he hits the bar when that should go in the back of the net. Just a really, really frustrating night. And confidence is low at the moment. I just don't know where a win's coming from. And I do feel sorry for Graham Potter in this instance because now, as I said, more people are going to be getting on his back, saying he's not good enough, or how can we trust this when it's 2 wins in 14? But look, this was a good performance tonight. I've got no concerns in terms of going into the second leg. We weren't battered. We created plenty of opportunities. We just need to take a couple of those opportunities at Stamford Bridge next week, and that could be the difference in the tie, and that sends us through. But we created enough chances to win to put the fucking tie to bed tonight. I don't understand what is going on with these with us in front of goal. It's such a big problem. I really don't know what to say, but I was encouraged by tonight in some aspects, and then equally massively frustrated as well. I actually don't feel I'm disappointed we've lost, but I'm not disappointed in how we've played. It's not like we've been played off the park. We've just not taken our chances, and we've been hit on the break with a clinical counter-attack. It happens in football, but it's happening way too often with Chelsea, and something really has to change in that aspect of our game. And we move on to Saturday, and Saturday is so important now. We have to win on Saturday against Southampton. Otherwise, I think a lot of people will start to turn on the manager. We've got to start picking some results up, picking up some points. Another frustrating night, one of the worst nights in front of goal for years. This will change at some point. I really do believe that. But yeah, another disappointing night, another frustrating night in front of goal. One day we will be efficient in front of goal. That day will come. Whether I'm here to see it or not is another matter, but that day will come. We will be efficient in front of goal one day. But yeah, guys, we move on to Southampton on Saturday, up the Chelsea, and catch you again soon.